Everyone. So I'd like to talk about when you receive insights and messages and how subtle they could be and how correct they could be. And when you don't listen to these messages, usually you are, it's indicated to you later that there was a reason for whatever that message was, but it comes up later. So when you learn to tap into what you might want to call your higher self, the part of you that just has all the information, that knows what's best for you, it's much easier to navigate life because you are in this place of inner trust, and you start to understand how to follow that inner guide that's there. And the reason I know this is because it's happening over and over again, where I will start to actually within minutes realize that I just had a thought, and that thought manifests in the physical in terms of something like it could be within minutes, or it could be within days, or months. It really depends on how it can come through as different ways and how strong it is. So it can come through as a thought that you weren't planning to think, and it's like almost like a premonition, but you may not know it in that moment. But it could be something like a premonition of a person you just met. You just get this feeling, and it's a thought. For example, this person, you just get this feeling there's something they're hiding. That's just something general. But when you speak to this person, you don't feel that way necessarily, like in their presence, because they are trying to hide it. But sometimes it takes kind of stepping away from the situation and then going into the feeling, because you can get overtaken by the ego while you are in the presence of that person, and then it will just come in as a thought or a feeling. So that's one way. And it can also come in as a prediction of some sort, where you like something simple, like you get this feeling like you think of someone, and then they call you, or even in my case, I once had this feeling that someone was going to call me, and then they want to talk to me, like I got a message from them, right? So we are all very psychic in that way, some more than others. The other is, if you put it out there, it's like it's coming in as a feeling of some sort, something that you particularly know that you are drawn to in your life. And if you are accepting of that thing, like something that you're meant to do, and you start to kind of focus on it and start to envision it and write it and see it and verbally say it to yourself, to others, it's like something you want. That's kind of another way of this manifesting process. It's going to just appear to you, and it may not appear to you in the exact way that you thought. I'll just give an example. So I'm now wanting to just be on a piece of land where I can live more environmentally friendly, off grid, and it may end up being a smaller home or some sort of a cabin or whatever it is. And what's happening is, the more I keep putting it out there and the more I'm strongly saying this is what I want, the more I keep meeting people who are in that mindset, in fact, who can even help me build it. So what's happening is it's manifesting, because once you are sure of that vision and you keep putting it out there as something that you want, it'll just keep showing up in different ways. So what you need to understand is the infinity that we have inside us. It's like we are not this limited being. When you are in fear and doubt, in some sort of a limited state of mind, that is not your higher self speaking. That is your limited self. That is your fear and your ego and all that playing games with your higher self, although your higher self doesn't even really pay attention. It's really playing games with your mind. But your higher self knows that it's not true. And the fact is, you can do all those things, and you can predict things, and you can get a feeling immediately from a person, and you can attract what it is that you want in your life. Although it may appear in a different way than you expected, but it will be exactly what you need at that time. So the power that we have in this process of manifesting, predicting, and our higher selves guiding us, it's very strong. And our higher selves, whatever you want to call it, your soul, your truth, I'm just going to say higher self, because really it is the all-knowing of yourself. Like you already know. There's no limits. And I've said this many times, there are no limits. It's just the limits our ego creates. So it's very, very important to start to listen if you're not. And some people are getting better. Some people are in this process of starting to listen to the inner voice that just understands, knows, and trusts. It lives more in the present moment. So you get a tap on the shoulder energetically. Hey, you should try this. You listen. And it doesn't mean you're impulsive. It means that you're in a full place of trust. So some people can judge me for being impulsive, and I don't even see it that way. And you know what that is? That's their fear speaking, especially someone who's protective of you, like a parent or something, right? Or a sibling or whatever, a family member. They might see you as impulsive and not thinking. But you know what? It's not that I'm not thinking, it's that I am trusting my inner guidance, because your inner guidance does know. And if it's, your inner guidance may choose a harder path for you to help you grow. It's not because you made a mistake. There is no such thing. You needed to go in that direction in order to expand your consciousness. And it's all about expansion and learning and growing. So you could easily stay, for example, in a job where it's just monotonous and you're just doing the same thing over and over and over because it's safe. Is that going to help you grow? Not so much. It may challenge your mind you're going to get pushed in your mind. You're going to say, and you're going to just be miserable. And day after day, some people can stay that way because the fear keeps them there, because they need the finances or this or that. But then on a deeper level, they know that they're not meant to stay there, but they just don't have the courage or the trust in themselves to go into that other direction, which their higher self is very aware of. And this is where we have to break free, because it's an illusion what we created, this fear. And you jumping into something new that feels way better, it's not going to necessarily be easier, but it's going to be way better for you at the end of the day. You're going to see the difference in your life. You're going to be more fulfilled. But it may take some time to actually get used to the discomfort. So really, sometimes staying with the ego's decision can be harder. And in fact, long term, it actually could always be harder, because you are choosing the longer way to get to where you want to be. But once you finally have the courage to listen to your higher self, it's like you're shortcutting the potential difficulties. It's like you're just taking a shorter and more compressed path that's more difficult to get to where you want, versus staying in a long, drawn-out situation where it's so much easier to stay in. And then eventually you'll get where you're meant to be. It's really a choice. You can actually choose how you want your life to manifest. You do have some choice, but there always is somewhere you are meant to be. I do believe in some free will. I do believe that there are different timelines that you can take. I believe that eventually you will get where you're supposed to be. It may not be what you thought it was, because your ego says one thing and your soul is like, no, this is it. And once these two parts of you merge, it's like the left and right brain of you merge, you will start to realize what you're actually meant to do, and you'll see that it's actually the place where you are the happiest, even if there's a struggle to get there. So that's what I wanted to bring forward, and probably because part of it is when these videos come out just in these ways, it's usually because I am going through a similar process right now, and whatever I can share to help with your process, you know, I'm sure many people are going through very similar things, and you're not alone on that. You know, we're all being pushed in different directions to grow and trust our inner guidance, right? So thank you for listening, and if you like this video, please click like and feel free to subscribe, because I will be posting videos most days, and meditations, yoga. So thanks for listening, and we'll see you soon.